today's video is going to be a full face of makeup using only drugstore products. And I believe all but 2 drugstore brushes. So I know I'm going to have like a little teeny baby channel, but I actually did get a request for this one, so thank you to Amanda for requesting this. So yeah, I wanted to do a look that I thought you could either use just doing like a date night type thing, or if you like to wear smoky eyes during the day too, you could do it during the day. I used every single thing in this is a drugstore product, which I'm very, very excited about. So if you'd like to see how I get this full-faced drugstore look, then keep on watching. Okay, so let's get this party started. I have already moisturized and applied my SPF to my skin. Please excuse my skin if my face is a little bit red, and my neck, I had microneedling done yesterday, so sometimes after you have it done for a day or two, you can kind of appear like you have a sunburn. I'm not sunburned, I don't tan in the sun, you guys know that, but I did have that, so it is a little bit red today. I'm going to start off by using my e.l.f. primer. This primer is really good. It's like $1 or $2. You can get it at Target or Ulta. So I'm just going to go off and start priming my eyelids with this. I do love that it has an applicator. I think that's awesome. So I'm just going to swipe that on there. So I've got my tape here, and I'm just going to apply this to the outside edge of my eyes. Okay, so I'm going to set down my primer with a powder, and to that I'm going to use my FitMe powder, as well as, what brush do I want to use? I'm going to use this Wet n Wild brush today. So all of the brushes that I'm going to use today, save with the exception of maybe 1 or 2, are all brushes that you can get at the drugstore. And when I get to the few brushes that I'm going to be using on my eyes that are not ones that you can actually go to the drugstore and purchase, I'm going to explain to you why I'm using them. So I think I'm going to be using a couple of different eyeshadow palettes today. I definitely for sure am going to be using this Wet n Wild palette. This is the All Natural palette in the shade Nude Awakening. And then I'm also going to use this e.l.f. palette. This is the e.l.f. What is it called? Mad for Matte, I believe. They have Mad for Matte and then they have Mad for Matte 2. This is Mad for Matte. And I'm going to be using a couple of the shades in here to blend in my crease. I'm going to mix 2 of them. I'm going to mix this third one here from the palette and this one on the end, because the third one is a little bit dark for a crease shade for me, but this one on the end is a little bit too light, so I'm going to go in and mix those 2 together. And I'm going to be going in with this guy right here. Now this is one of the brushes that I'm going to be using that you cannot actually go and purchase in like Target or Ulta or whatever. This is the Bdellium Tools 787 brush. But the couple of brushes that I am going to be using that are not purchased at the drugstore have drugstore prices. So like for example, this Bdellium Tools brush I want to say was $7 or $8. This Morphe brush is $5.99. I mean, this brush, I live or die by this thing. Like I use it in almost every single makeup look that I do. It has a sister brush in the Sigma collection. The Sigma E25 is kind of the same one, but this is $5.99. Like, I mean, I have a couple of e.l.f. brushes that I paid $6 and even $10 for, and the Sonia Kashuk ones are in the teens, like $14, $15. So while I do know that you have to purchase this online, it is kind of a pain to purchase it and pay for shipping, it's so worth it because these brushes are so affordable and they're so good. Like, I'm telling you, you need them in your life. So I was also thinking about doing a video on my favorite Morphe brushes, because I actually get asked this question a lot between like coworkers and clients that I work on and things like that, what brushes I use or what brushes are good. And I know when you go on the Morphe website, let me just tell you, it is overwhelming. So I think I'm going to go through all of my favorite Morphe brushes and pick out the ones that are like essential for you to do like a regular everyday look and talk about each one of those. That way if you do decide to go on the Morphe website and purchase them, you won't feel overwhelmed. Like you'll know which ones to get and you'll be like, okay, yeah, I got this. Well, hopefully that'll be helpful. If you guys would like to see that video, comment down below and I will do that for you. So enough talking. Let me go in and just start blending with these 2 shades in my crease. Sorry, I got a little rambles there. But I just really, really love Morphe brushes, and obviously I have no affiliation with Morphe. I am not sponsored by Morphe. Like, let's get real. I mean, my little baby channel, they don't even know who I am, other than the fact that they take my money because I buy a lot of stuff from there. But yeah, I really, really love their brushes. I think they're such a great price point for the quality that you get. They're just so good. I'm going to go in with this Bdellium Tools one. Oh, by the way, Bdellium Tools you can get off of Amazon. And if you have Amazon Prime, I think they ship for free. And then Morphe brushes you can get off of morphebrushes.com. I will link these below, obviously. So I'm going to go back in with this same Morphe brush that I used before, and I think I'm going to take this shade right here, and I'm just going to kind of start to pinken up what I've added to my crease. So now I'm going to go in with this Wet n Wild brush right here. Again, these don't have any names. I'm sorry about that. This one's more of like a, I don't know how to explain it. It's kind of like a shader brush, sort of. But it's a little bit more fluffy than like a flat shader brush. And I'm going to take this color right here, and I'm going to go on the outside, and then I'm going to bring it over top of my hood and then come on the inside and leave the center of my eye blank, because like I said, I think I might want to go for like a halo-ish kind of look. So since this brush is a little bit more dense, I'm just going to be very careful, and I'm just going to apply a little bit of color, because we can always add more color, but it's very hard to blend it out when you've added too much. So I'm just kind of stamping this color along where I want it. And then I'm going to go in and I'm going to add color to the other side, and then I'm going to go blend that out. So I'm going to go back in, and I'm going to repeat all those steps again to kind of intensify, wait, what? Why can't I say that word? Intensify, there we go. Oh my gosh, I'm going to go back in and intensify that burgundy color. Like, hello, that was crazy, okay? My tape's coming off. That was funny. I'm totally in here by myself, laughing with myself, by the way, just saying. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to take this shade and these two shades right here, and I'm going to blend the top edges of that out so that it looks even and nicely blended. And I'm going to go in with this Sigma brush, or excuse me, this Morphe brush right here. Brush. This is the e.l.f. contour brush. It's a teeny tiny little brush. I mean, I guess maybe they mean if you want to like contour your nose or something, but definitely does not look like a contour brush to me. So it skipped a little bit on this side when I was going back and forth. So I think what I'm going to do is just take this, and I'm just lightly going to dip it in this purple color right here. And I'm just going to make sure that there are no lines where the eyeshadow skipped. So now what I'm going to do is I kind of drew it out into a catty shape, but I still want to kind of do that halo-y effect, but kind of just put my own spin on it. So I'm going to go back into this Wet n Wild palette right here, and I think I'm going to take this pretty shade right here. It's a very pretty pink shimmery shade, and I'm going to take this Wet n Wild brush, as soon as I can find it. Yes, this Wet n Wild brush. This is like a shader brush as well, but this is very dense and a little bit more stiff so that you can go in and apply things very specifically. So normally I would go in and I would wet this brush with Fix Plus to intensify the shimmeriness of this shadow, make it look more metallic. But if you do not have Fix Plus, you can actually just use eye drops. Eye drops have glycerin in them, which makes the shadow stick to the brush, and so you kind of get that really pretty foiled metallic look. You just drop a couple on the brush, or sometimes I just put it in a couple drops in my hand, dip the brush in there, swirl it around in the eyeshadow, and voila, you have the exact same thing as Fix Plus basically. And then I'm just going to place this directly above where my pupils sit so that they're still dark on the outside, on the outside, and they're still dark on the inside, and then the lighter just sits kind of in the middle, sort of like that halo-y look. I bring it up because I'll get shadow up there anyway when I open my eyes, because my lids go so far back into the depths of nowhere, and my eyes, my eyeball sockets, I'll end up with shadow there anyway, so I just embrace it and I put it up there. So I'm going to go back in with this same e.l.f. crease brush, or excuse me, contour brush is what they call it. They're calling it a contour brush. And the Wet n Wild palette with the burgundy shade that we used before. And I'm just going to blur the lines a little bit from the light shadow to the dark shadow, just so that there's not such a harshness, even though I want it to look very kind of carved out and halo-y. I don't want there to be any sharp lines. So I'm just going to go in and sort of lightly tap it in here and then just blur out those lines a little bit. So I'm just going to go and pull off this tape because it is no longer needed. And it's nowhere near as hard to get off, since I basically cried laughing so hard at myself before. I'm going to be using two different foundations today. Both are from L'Oreal. I'm going to be using the L'Oreal Infallible Total Cover and the L'Oreal Infallible Pro-Glo. This is very thick, and it is... While it is thick, it does feel very lightweight. It has kind of a whipped consistency, almost a moussey consistency, but it is very matte. It doesn't give you any shine, any shimmer, nothing like that. Whereas this one is very dewy. However, I find that it is so dewy that it settles into the lines of my nose, settles into the lines of my forehead, but it does give you a really pretty glow. So I like the best of both worlds for these two, so I'm going to mix them together. I'm going to use this Milani Prime Light Primer. I used it once before, not on camera, and it was gorgeous. So we're going to have to see how this goes on camera. This may be crazy because it does have like these little reflex of sparkles to kind of give you like a dewy luminescent glow. Like I said, I'm very rambly today. I don't know what my deal is. I feel like I'm kind of rambling on and on. Anyway. So I'm going to take a little bit of this on the back of my hand. A little bit of this goes a very long way, by the way, if you do purchase this. Oh, I'm in the shade nude beige in both of these. So I'm just going to squeeze a little bit of this on the back of my hand. And then I'm going to squeeze a little bit of the other one on the back of my hand. And then I'm just going to mix them together, hopefully to create a perfect combination, little foundation cocktail. And let's just see how this goes. Ooh, my face is still a little bit tender from the microneedling. I'm going to use the Real Techniques I told you guys I cannot talk today. Real Techniques complexion sponge. This one is from the Precious Metals collection. And I'm just going to start blending that in. It's damp, of course. For concealer today, of course, I'm going in with my Maybelline Fit Me concealers. I'm using the shade 15 Fair and 10 Light. Then to set my concealer and the rest of the areas that crease, I'm going to be using this CoverGirl Professional Loose Powder. This is 105 Translucent Fair with my wet sponge. Now I'm going to go in with my eyebrows. For brows today, I'm going to be using this right here. This is the Maybelline Brow Precise Crayon. This is in the shade Blonde. I did test this out before because this is a fairly new product to me. I was really nervous about finding something from the drugstore for my brows because most of the time when you get blonde in the drugstore, they really mean orange, they don't mean blonde. But this one's nice. This is a nice ashy blonde. It matches my brows really well, so I'm just going to go in and fill in my brows. I'm just going to kind of speed through this because I actually just posted a how I fill in my brows routine. It is with the Anastasia pencil, but you could totally use this instead. I mean, it's almost the same thing. It's a little bit more stiff. Now that my brows are done, I'm going to highlight my brow bone, and I'm going to be using the Wet n Wild palette in this first shade right here. Elf flat eyeliner brush, and I'm going to take that same shade and just go right along my bottom lash line. Then I'm going to go and I'm going to take this Elf blending brush, and I'm going to go into, which one? I'm going to mix this one right here next to the burgundy one, and then this one that I used to highlight my brow bone. I'm going to mix these two together and smoke out my bottom lash line. Then I'm going to go in and I'm going to use this NYX pencil in jet black and line my top and bottom waterlines. I'm going to go in and start finishing my face. I'm going to use the Wet n Wild contouring palette. The this Elf brush has no name. Then I'm going to go back in with this Elf brush right here, and I'm going to stamp out my jawline because I feel like it got a little bit messy. This is the Elf contouring brush and my powder here from Covergirl. While I'm waiting for that to bake, I'm going to be doing mascara. I'm going to give my eyelashes a quick curl, and then I'm going to be using the L'Oreal Voluminous Superstar Mascara. Now I'm just going to take that same target brush and just dust this away. For blush today, I'm going to be using the Sonia Kashuk brush. This is a really old brush. I know they don't have the white ones anymore, but you can get Sonia Kashuk at Target. My butter blush in the shade Plum Rose, and I'm going to just dust some of this on my cheeks. I have a pretty purpley eye look going on, so I don't want to do too much purpley like blush on my cheeks, but I also didn't want to go too nude either. So I'm just going to dust this here on my cheeks. Then I think I want to add a little bit of warmth to my skin, so I'm going to take this is also a Sonia Kashuk brush, which is very, very old. My Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer, and I'm just going to warm up the skin a teeny tiny little bit, nothing crazy, just enough to kind of give me a little bit of color where the sun would naturally hit. And for highlight today, I think I'm going to use two different highlights. The first one I'm going to use is going to be this Essence. This is the Essence Pure Nude Highlighter in the shade 10 Be My Highlight. Real Technique setting brush. It's a little bit looser in the fibers. Milani Afterglow Strobelight in the shade 01, and I'm just going to hit the tops of my cheekbones with this for a little extra glow. I'm going to go in and set my face using the Milani Make It Last Setting Spray. Then I think I'm going to do lashes too. I wasn't going to do lashes at first because, like I said, I don't wear lashes every single day, so to do them in every single makeup look that I do would be unrealistic for me. But I think I kind of want to do lashes just to show that there can be like a full-on glam look with all drugstore products. You don't have to spend anything high-end. So I'm going to be using the Kiss True Volume lashes in the style Ritzy, along with my Kiss Lash Glue. All right, lashes are on. So now I'm going to go in and do my lips. This is the NYX lip pencil in the shade Natural. I'm just going to line my lips with this. CoverGirl Katy Cat Matte, and this is in the shade Pink Paws. By Flower Beauty. Flower Beauty can be purchased at Walmart. And this is in the shade Classic Nude. So I'm going to go and finish getting ready and take down this train wreck that is my hair, and I will be right back. So my hair is flat ironed and a little less of a train wreck, hopefully. But that's going to be it for today's video. I hope you really enjoyed this full face makeup look using nothing but drugstore products and drugstore brushes. I was really excited to create this for you, and it just goes to show that you don't have to spend a lot of money to get something that's going to give you a really pretty look. It can be a dramatic look, it can be a subtle look, any kind of look that you want, you can get with products that are out there on the drugstore, because there are so many good products out there for a really reasonable price, which is what I love about drugstore products. Thank you so much for Amanda for requesting it. I really appreciate you taking the time to comment on my channel. So that's going to complete today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Leave me a comment down below if there's any other video that you'd like for me to do. I know there's a million and one videos out here, but if there's something specifically you want to see me do, leave the comment down below. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you'd like to see more videos from me. Don't forget SPF is your best friend, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!